Well, hey there. We are going to talk about the 2010 Atlantic City Led Zeppelin show here, October 30th, 2010. You know, the last show I got a member request was actually the day after a big show, being January 1st, 2011. This one being the day before a big show. October 30th, 2010. And there were some similarities in the set list, like Foam, Galua Papyrus, I believe Bathtub Gin, Wolfman's. There was a handful of songs that were played at both shows. Two totally different shows, though. And one problem here is a little disclaimer. Channel member John, thank you for the request. I actually finished the show yesterday, so I've lost a little bit of the excitement from just finishing the show, and I hadn't heard this show in a long time, and I think I read in the show notes, if not the first, one of the very early shows that they couch toured. It's kind of hard to even think about Couch Tour 2010, and I know we always had the live Phish videos, and I don't believe 2010 was not single shot, right? Remember the single shot live Phish videos were always very nice. And then look, outside of the Zeppelin stuff, which was a lot of fun, obviously we're creeping up on Halloween. I mean, you were probably either thinking, well, there goes the Zeppelin album for tomorrow, or you were thinking they're going to cover Led Zeppelin tomorrow. And this is just like a really, really heavy tease. That was not the case, though, however. And then, so beyond the fun Zeppelin stuff, which, look, if you were there, I mean, obviously, if you're a Phish fan, at some point you were a Led Zeppelin fan, if not still, you know. So being there, you probably never got a chance to see Led Zeppelin like myself and many others. I would imagine that that was probably pretty awesome. Whether if it was the Whole Lot of Love, the teases, the shorter stuff, even you got a couple proper minutes of Stairway to Heaven in there. But really is what I'm getting at is that I'm going to blow past all of this was stuff like the Wolfman's Brothers, Brothers. How many of them is there? The Undermines, the Bathtub Gins. Those songs did kind of rule. I mean, basically that whole decade, those were three of the 5 to 10 songs that really just kind of dominated Phish's comeback in '09 all the way through 2019. And I would put Wolfman's, Undermine, and Bathtub Gin up there for like songs of the decade, really. And you got all three of them back to back to back here, and then preceded by a Walk Away, which my Walk Away theory from the 90s that they played Walk Away after absolutely crushing it. And look, maybe they thought they crushed that Whole Lot of Love, Chalk Dust Torture, ha ha ha. And then look, there was the Tube Possum Tweezer that started the second set before you got into all the Led Zeppelin was very good. But then after the Zeppelin, well, I was getting ready to say after the Zeppelin stuff, we sort of came down, but that's not true at all. The 2001 David Bowie was amazing. A pretty funky show really for 2010 between the Wolfmans and the 2001, that is. You know, you get back into Numberline. They weren't done though with the Good Times, Bad Times, Sleeping Monkey, Tweezer Reprise Encore. I know I've kind of been a little bit of everywhere. I'll just put the set list in the description in case you're not familiar with this show. I'm sure you are at this point. I feel like I probably should be, like I said, though, I finished it yesterday. Believe me, I was pretty fired up about it. I hadn't heard it in a long time. And then, yeah, even not being there, you get kind of excited about the Zeppelin stuff. But really what stood out at me, though, because it's been a while, was the Phish stuff. And, you know, I am big on like, oh, come on, man, enough with the covers. Let's just play Phish songs. You guys got so many great songs. Do we really need to hear Led Zeppelin? But then on a night like this, where it's kind of like the theme of the entire night throughout both sets, not so much in the first set, but then, like what I was originally going to say was how good the originals were jumped out at me, you know, because I kind of remembered this as the Zeppelin show, which it was, but not to take away from the Wolfmans, the 2001, although it's not a Phish original. All right, boom. Thank you for the request, channel member John. We got some live shows coming up. I am ready for the live shows because even though the most of the time member requests are really good shows, it just isn't the same, man. Even if it's like an awesome, outstanding show from the 90s, even that kind of creates its own problems. It's just not who they are anymore. Who are Phish in 2024? Still rocking. All right, guys, boom, we're out of here. Thank you for the request. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Just kidding, you're probably already subscribed. I don't know what's going on. It's early. I just woke up. I'm not fully awake yet. Wake up! Well, I guess since I have you here, well, I don't know if I really have you here. These classic recaps. Another thing that makes them tough is just people aren't that into them. I totally understand. I know I've been through this again, so if you're a regular viewer, I'm sorry. But I just sometimes, like, I get it, but it is perplexing. I'm like, damn, these are pretty good shows. Maybe it's the lack of whiteboard. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. But anyhow, since I may have you here, let's talk drones and drones and Luigi. Okay, now look, we'll start with the drones. Maybe not as exciting as it may seem. Now, if I was there, if I was living in the area and there was these drones hovering over my neighborhood, I'd be certainly would be concerned. But it does just seem like it's our military doing some kind of testing or something, right? I mean, my favorite theory that I heard was that there has either been a suitcase nuke stolen or misplaced. Some kind of nuclear weapon we have just misplaced or it's missing in some way. And that these drones are basically searching for it through, I don't know, like they have basically like just basically they have some kind of technology on them that they can search out the radiation coming from the nuke. That was my favorite theory. I don't know what they're doing up there. I mean, they're doing something, obviously. This isn't just a joyride. I don't believe it's a foreign country spying on us or anything like that. I feel like if that was the case, we would have just lit them up by now, right? I don't know. So, I mean, I guess actually that's all I got on the drones. I think it's us and we're just testing something out. And, even though it's right there for everyone to see, they're just like, yeah, we ain't telling you anything. We're doing some government testing. Something like that. Something to do with the military, right? Maybe we're figuring out how to spy. I don't know. It's not like we're above spying on other countries. I don't think it's somebody spying on us. I don't think, obviously, it's not anything from another planet. And then Luigi, I guess I don't have much to say about that other than, like, look, my first thought when I first heard this story was, the very first words out of my mouth might have been like, well, I don't really have a lot of sympathy for that guy, the CEO of an insurance company. People have their horror stories with insurance companies. Seemed pretty obvious what happened, but I am not going to be one of these people that's like going around calling Luigi a hero. And just to see these women like carrying on about how hot he is, it's just a little bit like, you don't want that on you, man. Don't do that. If you want to make a joke or two, I get that. Your joke better be funny though. Like a lot of people are trying to be funny with it and they're just not funny. Um, so it's just coming off as like, ew, you're just kind of a gross person celebrating the murder of a guy, which, again, like I said, a guy that I don't have a ton of sympathy for. But, if you're one of the people that you think you're being cute by celebrating Luigi, you're kind of just looking like an awful person, really. I don't know. And you just don't want that on you, right? Like, I don't know how the whole world works, what karma and all this stuff is, what goes around comes around, but just even the most awful people, if they're murdered, well then be like, all right, that's it. They lost. No need for you to celebrate. You didn't do anything. You're probably an awful person too. And you never know. Maybe the day will come when some guy comes up behind you with a rubber gun and shoots you in the back. All right, guys, boom, we're out of here. Thanks for watching. I'm done. Breaking news. News channel now. Okay, all right, okay, maybe I'm not done. Think the Browns can beat the Chiefs today? Any chance at all? I mean, I know the Chiefs' record makes it look like they're unbelievable, but I mean, they could easily have 3 or 4 losses. In Cleveland, yeah, they're like their wins this year over Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Yeah, sure, they beat Jacksonville too, but they are one of those teams, especially late in the year. Especially late in the year, they like they should be playing for draft position, and then these idiots go out and they win a game that they have no business winning, and that's part of the reason why they've never gotten a quarterback is they rarely get the number 1 pick. Although they were horrible for multiple decades, they were never. Rarely were they the worst. So it really wouldn't surprise me if they did somehow pick up a win over the Chiefs today. Just enough to screw up their draft pick and then still be an awful season. Oh, and then the Ohio State ticket situation. Who was the boomer that put this together? OSU football was the code. OSU FB. Well, of course Tennessee fans were going to crack that. I just hope it's not like 50-50 or worse. It was supposed to be a packed house with like a few thousand Tennessee fans in there. There's going to be more than a few thousand. Let's just hope it's not like 50,000. I mean, what a joke. How embarrassing will that be? I'm not feeling real great about the game. Historically, they've had trouble with Southeastern Conference teams. You know, if you've been a Buckeye fan for very long, you know that. And even in more recent history, just like, this century, national title games, LSU, Florida, whether they got picked up a win over Arkansas in a bowl game, though. All right, the mighty Arkansas. I guess the only thing that's given me some hope is I think Tennessee are chronic underachievers. I don't think Tennessee's to be taken seriously. They couldn't even win a national title with Peyton Manning. T. Martin is not walking through that door anytime soon, Vols fans. Not that you're still here watching this, damn near 10 minutes into my... And another thing, it's morning. The cat's laid back down. Mary's still sleeping. So if you're like, why is he doing kind of like this whisper talk? I don't know, man. I'm not getting into ASMR. I'll tell you that much right now. Maybe I'll premiere this and we can chat. Nobody's going to watch, though, damn it. It's why I quit doing premieres, because nobody watches. If you premiere a video and you get like 4 viewers and 6 comments, already YouTube's like, this video sucks. Sometimes I get too caught up in the YouTube thing. I shouldn't care. I should just do what I'm going to do, post it, and move on and not worry about things. Boom. So to wrap up, the Phish show was pretty cool. Thank you, John, for the request. If you're celebrating Luigi, don't do that. If you think the drones are aliens, they're not. The Browns could, in fact, beat the Chiefs today. And I'm really worried that Ohio State's going to lose to Tennessee, and it's going to be embarrassing. And who's this Ohio lawmaker trying to make it illegal to plant a flag at Ohio? That's so stupid. You seem like a loser, man. How about we just beat teams at Ohio Stadium and not have to worry about it? Fair enough? You don't have to make any stupid laws, making us look like a bunch of sore losers? How soft do we look? It's against the law to plant a flag on our field. That is so dumb. I hope that doesn't pass. I don't want that being a law. How about we just kick Tennessee's ass and move on? Well, it's kind of hard to do when Ryan Day's your coach. Who's their coach? Phil Fulmer? One last thing, and then I promise I'm done. November 27th, 1996, the Key Arena, Seattle, Washington, United States of America. Phish, the next show coming up. That's it. I'm officially done this time. Boom, we're out of here. And I really am going to premiere this. I mean it. Now I got to do another segment. I didn't know that hair was on my hat. Shit.